All right, look, I'm gonna keep it not short and simple because I gotta explain what's going on. I gotta explain myself, but I'm not gonna drag it out too long. All right. So listen, fried chicken in hand. So listen. So a lot of y'all that are around now, you know, very, very grateful for y'all being around. But maybe y'all didn't see like where we started from. You know what I'm saying? Maybe y'all didn't see where we started from. And where we started from was in 2016. A lot of people don't know that we started streaming almost 8 years ago. We started streaming 8 years ago. Almost 8 years ago. 7 years ago, I fell in love with my first ever PC game. Well, I played it on console, but it was my first ever game that made me want to go buy a PC, which was Overwatch. If y'all didn't know, I tried to go pro in Overwatch. So I sold my PlayStation. I sold every game that I owned. I did all of that, and I bought my first little PC. And I've only ever played on console at that point in my entire life. So I picked a PC. It was one of the most frustrating experiences I ever had because it's like going from one input that you've always known your whole life to try to go professional and then on a new input that you've never played before. It was definitely an experience, and that's where it all started for me. After Overwatch, you know, we didn't get to make it pro in Overwatch, but after Overwatch, you know, the big sort of internet boom with streaming happened, and we started playing Fortnite, started playing COD. And we were streamed to like, you know, 2-3 people, you know, me, my dog, and my mom were the only watching. You feel what I'm saying? Obey, I will ban you for this announcement, bro. If that's what you want. But we did that, and then we started playing Apex, right? Space. We started playing Apex, and you know, that went the way it went, and we were playing Apex, we were streaming Apex, creating content on Apex, and then Valorant came out, and I would say that was when I really started trying to take content creations, like, I don't want to say serious because I always took it serious, but that's when I was like, all right, I'm gonna start editing my own videos. I'm gonna start having like a consistent upload schedule on my TikTok. That's when I'm gonna start streaming consistently, and throughout this whole period of time, I've been working full time. So that whole span, the whole 7-8 years, I've only ever had, besides off the books jobs, I've only ever had one job, and that's the job that I have now, right? Where I got that job right out of high school. If y'all didn't know the story about like how I got the job or whatever, I signed up for college. I didn't qualify for any tuition reimbursement or any help with tuition. My mom was actually $55, like literally $55, like to the dollar, $55 over the requirement to get financial aid. Mind you, this is us living in the projects, 5 of us in a 1-bedroom apartment in the projects, and we couldn't qualify. Me and my brother couldn't qualify for tuition reimbursement. So I had to get a job. I got into school, and I was just like, I can be very persuasive, very convincing. So I was able to push off my tuition payment for the first 3 months of college. I was able to just like continue to like low-key lie and just push it off and say, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, whatever the case may be, to get the money. I owed like $3,270 something or something like that. And in the 3 months that I kept pushing it off was when I got the job.
Oh, it's so long.
Yo, Snatch Ankles, appreciate the prime. So with the job that I got, I was able to, so what I would do is I would go to school full time on 2 days out of the week, Tuesday and Thursday. I would go from 7:30 in the morning to 10 p.m. at night. I went to college in Staten Island, and I lived in Harlem. So I would take 2 trains, a ferry, and 2 buses just to get to school, be there the whole day, Tuesday and Thursday, and then get back home by like, you know, leave campus by 10, get home by like 12, 1, and then go to work the other 5 days a week. And my schedule for work, so that I could afford to pay for college, was 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. and I would clock out from 4 to 5 p.m. and then I would clock back in from 5 to 12. And I would work double shifts every day, 5 days a week, so that I could pay for college. Point is, I made minimum wage, and after 3 months, I finally got enough money to pay for college. So paid for college for that first semester. All that bread that I made, like every single dime of it was gone in a single day, bro. Like all of it in a single day. And it was super frustrating because it was sort of like, I was relatively younger at the time. I was 18. It was frustrating because it was like I had made all that money and worked all that extra time. Just like it low-key felt like it was for nothing. Like I did it all for nothing because I couldn't help my mom. I couldn't like buy anything for myself. I couldn't like spend the money in any sort of way or reinvest that money any sort of way. I had to just give all that money to the college. So it was it was an extremely frustrating time for me because it was like I felt like I was wasting my time. I was not doing great in college because I would be asleep half the time. I was too tired from work, but I needed to work to pay for college. It was like this very vicious cycle that was annoying as so I did that, and at the end of that, I found myself sort of like, well, what do I have now, right? I paid for my first semester. What do I have now? What I found myself with, sort of like the silver lining that I found myself with, was that I had learned a lot in terms of work experience in like 3 months. To be exact, like I sort of learned 6 months worth of things in 3 months. So I took advantage of that, and I tried to make more money at my job by getting a higher position. The lesson that I learned from that is sort of what I applied to the rest of, the 8 years later down the line of my life, which is just that, like, you can't really control the things that happen to you, but how you respond to them. Lesson number one. Lesson number two being, if you don't change the way you look at things, you're always going to see things the same way. So when you change the way you look at things, the things that you see change. So instead of like being sad about it and being like, damn, I work all of this and do all of this for nothing just to go to school, whatever the case may be, I looked at it from a different perspective. I was like, look at all this now knowledge that I have. So I applied that knowledge. So that was around 2016, 2015, 2016. That was 3 months into me having that job. 9 months after that, after sort of applying that perspective, I got promoted 7 times after that. So like I got promoted and promoted and promoted again and again and again. I kept that sort of same mentality of like, if I'm putting in this much effort, if I'm putting in this much pain, I want to get something out of it. I want to not be a victim of my circumstance, but sort of like take opportunity and take charge of my circumstances, right? Mind you, what I worked at was not what I wanted to do in my life. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I've always been a gamer. I've always been somebody who's enjoyed playing video games, and I always wanted to make a living doing that. But I do understand, being where I'm from, you got to sometimes like push what you want to do to the side and do what you have to do. And at the time, that's what I had to do, right? I had to work where I had to work and make the most out of where I was at. So I did that, and at the end of my first year working where I was working, I ended up running the unit that I was hired at. So like I ended up being the person responsible for all of the people there. And that was at 19 years old. And it was a very strange experience, right? Like a lot of time on the internet, for example, a lot of people, I take it as a compliment, but a lot of people say like, yo, you act so much more mature than you are, right? Not only does that, the under eye bags not help, right? But I behave in a lot more maturely because I had to mature very quickly. Because at 19 years old, I was like responsible and expected to delegate people who were 40 and 50 years old. You know what I mean? So I had to grow up and learn a lot of life lessons very quickly. Now, how this all ties into everything that I'm talking about today. So I did that. I've done that job for a very long time. And thought your ass was 30. Nah, I'm 27. I've done that job for a long time, and I'm extremely, and I want to like emphasize that very much. So like I'm extremely
so long though.
Grateful. Yo, Jai, thank you for the tier 1. Extremely grateful and extremely privileged to be in the position that I am, and for that job, because where I'm from, I've seen what not having those opportunities or taking advantage of opportunities leads you to. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody around me was able to not everybody around me was able to make it out of where we were from. You know, and if you're from New York, especially from Harlem, you know what that comes with, bro. Like, what I mean by make it out is like obviously metaphorically, but also quite literally. You know what I mean? There's people that unfortunately along the way didn't make it, and then others that are, you know, the opportunity was, the chance for them to make it was stripped from them. You know what I mean? I was lucky enough to be able to see it from both ends and sort of like learn from others around me so that I could make the right decisions and take advantage of the opportunities that I was able to take advantage of. And that is not something that could be said for everybody that I grew up with. So I definitely understand that I'm in that privileged position and super, super grateful for that, right? So how that ties into everything that I'm talking about is that, you know, I worked that job for 8 years, right? 8 years, all the way up until being a regional manager, and obviously reaping the benefits of that. But always in the back of my head, right? Like I said, it's never what I've wanted to do. I've never been the type of person to really let go of what it is that I wanted to do in the back of my mind, right? So like the whole time I'm there working, all I was ever thinking about was doing this. Like every single waking moment was sort of like, all right, I'm gonna make my money so that I could go reinvest it back into what I really want to do, which is streaming. Because this is what I like. For those of you that have been a part of La Familia for a long time, y'all know I don't know what it is about me. I must be a freak or something, but like streaming doesn't deplete my energy. Like streaming makes me want to be awake more. Streaming makes me want to stay up longer. Streaming makes me want to make more content for y'all and be here for longer, right? So I had to split a lot of that time between being responsible, like being an adult and being responsible. I got people and shit that I have to take care of. So I gotta be a man about that, and I gotta go show up to work every day and work my 12-hour shift every day. But then I also gotta be true to myself and then come home and do a 10-hour stream for y'all because I love doing that, right? I did that for a very long time. Up until around 8 months ago. So around 8 months ago, I made the decision that you know, I don't want to call it a gamble, because it is a gamble, but not really. Sort of like a calculated risk, I'll say. 8 months ago, I decided, like, you know what? I want to dedicate my full attention and my full capability and my full capacity to streaming. I felt like I was given an opportunity that not many people are given, and I took advantage of that opportunity. In every way that I could. I showed up every single day. I showed up to every single stream. I tried my best to create the best type of content that I could. And I really feel like I did that. So 8 months ago, I said, you know what? I'm gonna start doing what I need to do, because I'm also a responsible person. So 8 months ago, I said I'm gonna start to do what I need to do to really give this my all. You know what I'm saying? And the reason that it was so long ago, 8 months, is because when you're in the position that I'm in, you can't just up and leave. I mean, not if you're a responsible person.
So long though.
Yo, Mentally Destiny, thank you. Not if you're a responsible person. You know what I mean? I understand that if the decisions that I make at my job affect thousands of people, like quite literally, that's not like even an exaggeration. It affects thousands of people. If I'm lackadaisical or, you know, not focused or don't care, it can negatively impact a bunch of people. It took time to do it. I had to train some people. I had to make sure some people were ready to take the next step. I had to make sure that people were in the right positions to do the right things. And that took 8 months. It took 8 months for it to happen. But, you know, luckily, as of a week ago, so 8 months ago, but as of a week ago, before I got sick, you know, I sort of privileged and privileged and lucky enough to let y'all know that I'm gonna be pursuing content creation and streaming full time from now on until the foreseeable future. Obviously, with y'all continued support. I'm gonna be here obviously every day, which is not different from what it already is. Like, I'm already here every single day, but it does mean like a lot of different things. I guess I'll put a little clapping it up for everybody. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for all the spams and all that. Thank you for all the gifties. I promise I'm gonna read all of those really quickly. For the anonymous gifts, thank you so much. I'm gonna read those in just a second. Holy fuck, level 6 hype train. Just give me a second, y'all, please. So look, prime time with the 5 gift. Okay, look, I'm gonna read that in a second, please. Chat, remind me of everybody who gifts. Okay, let me finish getting this out, and then we could word. Your hairline is fucked. Nah, it's just the shape of my head, bro. Like, it's just anyway. Look. What does that mean in general, right? What does full-time mean for us? For La Familia, for the content, for whatever.
It's so long.
Y'all already know I stream every day regardless, right? The way I think about it is sort of like two different things that I think about, right? It's what does this mean for y'all, and then what does this mean for myself? Because this has a large impact mainly on me and my personal life, right? So, as you can imagine, working 12 hours a day, and then coming home and streaming 10 hours is 22 hours a day, right? So that leaves very little time for sleep. And more importantly than sleep, in my opinion, it leaves very little time for, the other two more important pillars of life, which I believe are family and health, right? So that's the first thing I want to talk about. Sort of what does that mean for me and my personal life? Because of y'all, and because of the support that y'all been giving me and the channel and everybody around me, I'm able to do this, which is going to allow me to spend index more time with my family, which is something that I'm not the best at and something that I've wanted to be better at for a very long time. And just know that y'all have given me that opportunity to do that. I'm lucky enough and blessed enough to have both my mom and my dad in my family alive and doing well. And I'm also blessed enough that they live in the same country as me, and blessed enough that they live in the same city and the same state as me, because that's not true for everybody. I'm sure that's not true for many people in the chat. And I know how privileged I am of that. And even with all those advantages and privileges, I still don't see them very often. And that's sort of the first thing that I want to focus on, and the first thing that I want to change is that I want to index more time with my family, right? I have a goddaughter. Y'all know my brother just had a daughter not too long ago. My mom, my dad, they're doing just fine, luckily, thank God. But I want to spend more time with my brother, with my goddaughter, with my mom, with my dad, because I know all of that is not always going to be the case. It's not always going to be okay. Things aren't always going to be all right. They're not always going to be around. And I don't want to look back on things and say, I pushed my family to the side to go chase something. Because at the end of the day, that's not what it's about. Like, what's the point of chasing it all if at the end you've got nobody to celebrate it with? And those are, luckily, again, the people that celebrate everything with. Like, when we first hit our first 10 subs, not 10 subs, sorry, our first 10 followers on Twitch, you're not going to be able to find this VOD or anything like that because it's just not there. But once that stream ended, you know what I'm saying? I turned around and I was in the project, and I wish I could show y'all these pictures, bro. And maybe I could find it on my phone. But for y'all, those of y'all who've been in the community for a while, y'all have seen those pictures, right? Y'all seen those pictures of the twin bed. You know what I'm saying? I'm 6'1", bro. Y'all seen the pictures of the twin bed right next to the little desk with the Ethernet cable hanging from the ceiling, and me falling, knocked out asleep in my chair after a fucking 14-hour stream to one person, passed out in the chair, and waking up to my mom and my dad saying, congratulations on your first 10 followers. Luckily, I've had the support of them. It hasn't always been that way, but luckily I have the support from them, and everything I do is to help better our situation and better our circumstances as a family. So y'all have given me the opportunity to focus on that, and for that, no matter where the story ends up at, no matter what the journey looks like after this, I will be eternally grateful to every single one of y'all who have ever popped into the chat, who have ever dropped a chat or said hi or said what's up or lurked in the chat or supported in any sort of way. I appreciate y'all, for real. It means the world to me. Like, you know, y'all don't owe me anything. You know what I mean? I get on this, you know, on this platform, and I play the game, and y'all pull up, and y'all don't owe me anything, and I'm eternally grateful, and I don't take it for granted, not for 1 second. So that's one major pillar of what being full-time is going to allow me to focus on. The other one is a little bit more selfish, but super important. That's something that I've been meaning to focus on a long time, which is my health. Now, I don't want to scare any of y'all. I'm perfectly fine. Like, I am more fine than you can be, right? I'm a super healthy individual. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do any fucking drugs or anything like that. So I'm doing very, very well for myself. I'm a very healthy individual. But there's still things that I can improve in my health. There's way more ways I could be active and take better care of myself. And again, because of the support that y'all consistently hit me with, I'm going to be able to focus on that more, which in turn is going to sort of just pay back for y'all, because me taking better care of myself means a more energetic me, and a more energetic me means better content for y'all, which means more entertainment for y'all. So I think, you know, that's going to be a heavy return on y'all investment into me as a content creator. So I appreciate that. Now, with that stuff out of the way, let's talk about what that means for y'all, because I know that that's what y'all give a fuck about. That's what y'all really care about. You're like, yeah, man, you're going to take care of yourself. You're going to see your family, whatever. What does it mean for us, bro? What does it mean for us? What do we get out of it? All right, old man, you're free from the shackles of corporate America. What does it mean for us? What's in it for us, though? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do we get out of it? So let's talk about it. Let's talk about what that means for us. So I already know what y'all going to spam. Y'all going to be like, oh, he's going to stream 15 hours a day, every single day, and he's not going to miss a day, and the stream's just never going to end. And yeah, it's going to be what it is. So I do plan on, like I said, spending time with my family and taking care of myself. So it's not going to be daily 15-hour streams, okay? I'm going to say that right now. It's not going to be daily 15-hour streams, okay? So I don't want to burst nobody's bubble, but I'm going to start with that just to rip that Band-Aid off and just let y'all know off the rip. Understandable? I appreciate that. What it is going to be, though, because y'all know I got to, like, you know what I'm saying? I got a few screws loose up there, you know what I'm saying? I ain't all the way there. I'm not all the way there in my head, right? So, you know, what it does mean, though, is a new schedule. A new schedule for the stream. And I want y'all to hold me to it, right? Obviously, I want y'all to tear me up when I'm a minute late, tear me up when I don't complete it. But it's got a new schedule. New schedule is going to be from 2 p.m. Eastern every single day, unless I don't feel like it. But 2 p.m. Eastern, okay? To 4 a.m. Eastern, okay? To 4 a.m. Eastern. That's going to be the new schedule. So it's not 15 hours, but it's 14 hours. So I hope that's enough. It's going to be 2 p.m. to 4 a.m. every day. Unless I decide to take a day off, right? So for those of you who are asking, I know like Tiger and some of the VIPs were asking, are we getting 365 streams again? Are we getting another 365 in a row? Y'all not gonna get another 365 in a row, okay? The only reason for that is that when I want to go take my family on a vacation, when I want to go back to the hood and lay down on my mama couch and not think about nothing, I'm gonna go do that. You feel me? I'm gonna go handle that, and I'm gonna go do that, and that's gonna get in the way of streaming every single day without missing a day. But what you can say is that it may not be 365, but what it will be is pretty much every fucking day for 14 hours. Okay, that's what y'all can say, right? Y'all can expect to see me here every day, 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. 2 p.m. to 4 a.m. Sorry. Okay. Now, let's talk about what else that means. Okay. What else does that mean? So that's the Twitch side of it, the live content side of it. Now we got to talk about the pre-recorded side of it, right? There's more. There's a little bit more. Y'all know me and Wick, me and Wick are always working, man. You know what I'm saying? Me and Wick are always working. He's always in the basement cooking something up. And we're always, we always doing what we got to do. So I was thinking over the new year, right? And I was like, there's a lot of different kinds of content that I want to create, right? I like doing React content. Obviously, the GTA RP content. I love first-person shooters are the thing that made me fall in love with gaming. So I love playing first-person shooters. So all of that is sort of super important to me. It's all about like, okay, what does that mean for us, right? And what it's looking like as a sort of preliminary sort of peek into what me and Wick are thinking of is, we're gonna be launching multiple channels, okay? So I don't want to put all of that content on the same channel because there might be people that are just not interested in that kind of stuff, and there's people that are. So we're gonna be launching a few more channels where we're gonna be uploading content on, different types of content on. But before we get too deep into that, I want to really talk about the GTA content because obviously that's what you guys, what you guys know me for, what you guys want. A few. So I want to focus on that. The commitment that I'm trying to make to y'all with this new found opportunity of time is obviously if I have more time on my hands, right? I'm going to be able to get back to, sort of get back to my roots. You know what I'm saying? What I mean by my roots is, I'm going to be able to edit and stuff now. I'm going to be able to edit and things like that. And before y'all go, whoa, what's going to happen to Wick? Or what happened to Wick? Or where's Wick going to go? Wick is not going anywhere. Wick's not going anywhere. Wick's going to stay in the basement where he belongs. Wick's going to stay in the basement where he belongs. But what it does mean is the amount of content that we're going to be able to put out is going to go up. Now, the commitment that I'm going to make to y'all, okay? And this is something that I've never seen other people do, at least in our community, in our small little community. I've never seen people do. But the commitment that I have to y'all is, for example, on YouTube, for the GTA channel specifically, so for the roleplay channel, Wick and I, starting sometime January and February when we get in our groove, we're gonna be putting out 3 videos. We're gonna be putting out 3 videos a day on the RP channel, every single day. And how that's gonna happen and how that's gonna work, I don't know, but we're gonna do it. He's with it, I'm with it, and I know that y'all with it, so it's gonna be great. 3 vids a day is crazy. I know. Now, I don't want to say too much, right? I don't want to say too much, but it's not all gonna be. It's not gonna be. I don't want to get y'all confused, right? It's not gonna be 3 District 10 videos a day. It'll be 3 RP videos a day, but it's not gonna be 3 D10 videos a day. Okay. There's some stuff coming along that I can't wait to show you guys. But we're gonna have a lot of content coming in to the YouTube, and Wick and I are gonna be synthesizing all of that and putting it out there for y'all enjoyment every single day. You know, one of the things that I really want to lean back into that I feel like is something that when I set out to be a part of this, I really had at the top of my mind that I really want to do better in is y'all know that, like, obviously y'all know, you know what I'm saying, one of the 2 very own TMF content creators, you know what I'm saying? Clap it up for TMF content creator. You know what I'm saying? One of the only 2 TMF content creators, all right? I really want to start, my fault. I really want to start owning up and living up to that name. You feel what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is I want to start creating more TMF related content. I know y'all really enjoyed the montages. You know, you guys, we had the TMFRC one, and you guys were like, yo, when are you going to drop another montage? When are you going to drop another montage? I'm going to be working on that. And we got 14 hours a day. So y'all going to be stuck with me watching the process of that. But we're going to be working on that. And I don't want to make a commitment too early because, number one, I don't know how often I'm going to be hitting these shots, to be very honest. But I want at least 2 pieces of highly edited, very curated TMF content up on the channel every single month. And that's just like, you know, FFA and ramps content in terms of edits and montages. But I also want to start, with the help of the rest of the TMF, I want to start hosting events that we can make evergreen content out of, which is like, you know, I'm thinking tournaments. I'm thinking, you know, creative shit. Things like, you know, Sis and I talked about, you know, maybe wagering one community against another, and making content out of that. And that's something that I want to do, and I'm really excited to bring to y'all. So the point is that the GTA channel is going to be getting a lot of content. Going to be getting a lot of content, and I'm super excited for all that stuff. You guys also know that we play on Neuro, and the content that we're going to be building on Neuro as well is going to be on the YouTube channel, and that's going to be amazing. And then, you know, obviously after that, more to come in the near future. But that's what y'all get out of the deal. That's what y'all get out of the deal, is y'all gonna have me around more often in a different capacity, and then when I'm not around on my downtime, y'all gonna have some evergreen content to enjoy. You know, whether you're at work, on your way to work, doing whatever it is that you want to do, that stuff is gonna be coming out for y'all, and that's my commitment to y'all for 2024 and as a full-time streamer, which sounds crazy to say, you know, full-time, but I wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for y'all. I wouldn't be able to do this if it wasn't for the support of everybody who ever showed love. So I just want to say thank you, from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. I won't let y'all down. I'm gonna show up and show out every single opportunity I can, because there's just no excuse to not do it, to not do that anymore. There's no further distractions. There are no strings anymore. So I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all.